Hello everyone. So today let's begin with a new topic, that is the development of the male gametophyte or the microgametogenesis process. Okay. So beforehand going into the development of male gametophyte, first of all just recall whatever we have studied in our last class. So this is the structure of a microspore tetrad or pollen tetrad. Okay. Now this particular structure, it consists of four microspores. Okay, it is surrounded by a common layer, that is the callus layer. Gradually this particular structure, the outer wall dissolves and the pollen grains are individually released. Now this pollen grain, it actually consists of, first of all, initially in this structure we can see it consists of a nucleus and the vacuoles. Gradually they undergo division, okay, and cell division to form the vegetative and the generative cell. But before that, let us first study the structure of pollen in detail. In this structure you can see a pollen grain, okay, which consists of the outer spiny exine. Now normally we see the structure of pollen to be like this. That means the outer layer is spiny and it is called the exine, and inner layer is elastic and that is called the intine. Now intine is actually thin and it is made up of cellulose and pectin, while the exine, it is, which is the outer layer, it is resistant to many biochemical activities. Now the particular substance which makes it resistant is known as the sporopollenin. Okay, now sporopollenin present in the exine is a very important part, because it, as it is resistant to enzymes and by various chemicals, to various environmental stress, it helps in to preserve the pollen grain as a microfossil. Okay, so the sporopollenin term is related to the formation of microfossils of the pollen grains. Now next, here you can see that in some portions of the exine some particular gaps are there. Okay, these particular gaps or pores are known as the germ pores. Now the exine is again differentiated into the sexine and nexine. Okay, now the sexine, which is the outer layer, it consists of a particular portion which is called the tectum. That tectum provides the sculpturing of the particular pollen grain. That means some may be smooth, some may be spiny. That texture or the sculpture is given by the tectum, which is the outermost layer of the pollen grain. Now while we are studying about the pollen, so there is definitely a branch of biology which deals with the study of pollen, and that particular branch is known as the palynology. Okay, which helps us to study about the various structures and details of the pollen grain. Now the number of germ pores also may vary in different type of pollens or in plants. Okay, sometimes it may have one micropore, germ pore. If it has one germ pore, then we call it as the monocolpate pollen, which we normally observe in case of monocots. And sometimes it may have three germ pores, then it is known as tricolpate, which is observed in case of dicots. Now normally the pollens, the period of for which the pollen grains remain functional, that is known as the pollen viability, and it depends upon the environmental conditions. Okay, the genetic potentiality. Now we can preserve the pollen grains in liquid nitrogen at about minus 196 degrees centigrade and use it as pollen bank, and this phenomenon is known as the cryopreservation. Okay, so for further study, for preservation, we can definitely preserve the pollen in liquid nitrogen. Again, sometimes what happens, the particular pollen, they causes some disorders like allergy, respiratory disorders in some particular persons. Okay, bronchial disorders are also seen. Then some products are also obtained from pollen products like bee, from cosmetics, food supplements, etc. These are also different type of substances which can be obtained. That means both plus and minus characters the pollen possess. Now, after going or studying all these outer parts, let us now study in details the male gametophyte development. So, male gametophyte development, it is divided into two phases. One is the pre-pollination phase and other is the post-pollination phase. Okay. So, pre-pollination phase, in that the development takes place where the cell first of all divides. Okay. Now, this is the particular male gametophyte or the pollen grain. This pollen grain, first of all, the cell, it divides, the nucleus divides, and it forms two unequal sized cells. The larger one is known as the tube cell or the vegetative cell, and the smaller one is known as generative cell. The generative cell is normally spindle shaped. Okay, this helps in for further division and development. That's why its shape is spindle shaped, and the larger one is the vegetative cell or the tube cell. Now, the tube cell, it contains a small vacuole. Cell organelles reserve food like starch, proteins, lipids, etc. Okay, gradually the nucleus becomes larger and irregular, but the generative cell, it finally takes the spherical, it may be lenticular to spherical. Okay, it becomes compact and spindle shaped gradually. Now, after this, what happened? A layer of callus develops around the generative cell. Now, you can see this is the particular generative cell. A callus layer is developing around it, okay, which separates the generative cell from the wall of the pollen grain. Now, you can see this red color portion. This is the callus layer. This is separating it from the inner layer of the pollen grain, okay, the pollen wall. So finally it dissolves. Okay, this particular red color layer, callus layer, it will dissolve, and ultimately it will help the generative cell or set the generative cell free for division. Finally, this divides into two male gametes. But before division, what happened? At the portion of the germ pore, the intine, it protrudes out. Okay, that means the exine breaks at the point of the germ pore and the intine protrudes out. Now, sometimes what happen in some plants, during the pollination period, the pollen grain may be 2 or 3 cell. If it is 2 cell, then definitely it consists of the tube cell and the generative cell. But if it is 3 cell, then definitely the generative cell undergoes division into 2 male gametes. Okay. Now, this division of the generative cell, it is included under the post-pollination development. That means whenever the pollen grain, it falls on the stigma, it absorbs the sticky sugary substance and finally germinates. During germination, it puts forth the pollen tube, that is the intine, it protrudes out and put forth the pollen tube into the style of the flower. And during this phase, the generative cell divides into 2 male gametes. Okay, here the pollen tube, which is actually the intine, it secretes some pectinase enzymes. Okay, it helps the passage through the style and getting the nourishment. That means whenever it is moving through the style, the enzymes will help its clearing the path. Okay, because that is a tissue, so that's why to digest the tissue and absorb the nutrients, the particular enzymes will help. Now, this tube nucleus, it descends to the tip of the pollen grain. Now, you can see in this tip, the tip portion is occupied by the tube nucleus, which later degenerates, and the generative cell, it divides to male gametes, and these male gametes occupy the just position followed next to the tube nucleus. Okay, now these male gametes are also somewhat lenticular to spherical. They has large nucleus which are surrounded by sheath of cytoplasm and covered over by a distinct plasma lemma. So this is the whole structure of a male gametophyte, and a mature male gametophyte does consist of 3 cells. Okay, 2 male gametes and 1 tube cell. The tube cell later completely degenerates during the process of fertilization, and it helps the or opens the path of the tube so that the male gametes can move to the ovary portion. Okay, so a male gamete, ultimately we can say that a male gamete, it consists of 3 cells. The 2 male gametes and 1 tube cell. So this is all about the male gametophyte development. Okay, this is a continuation portion of the microsporogenesis. Once the microspores are produced, they get matured. Okay, they develop and their cell divides, and finally the smaller cell, which is the generative cell, it ultimately gives rise to the 2 male gametes. So go through the video. Hope this video is clear to you. Okay, so you study it properly, go through it properly, and if you have any problem, then do consult.